Hello everyone, it's Jess and welcome back to Nose in a Book. It is January 5th and I still haven't taken down my Christmas tree.
I've got to catch my breath. I've got to catch my breath. I've got to catch my breath. I've got to catch my breath.
So it is the new year, time for New Year's resolutions and things like drinking more water and eating less garbage. But for us readers, it's also a new year to set a whole bunch of reading goals and things that we want to get read by the end of 2017. And for me, this was a tough thought process. So I know that there are a ton in my own library that I need to read. But on top of that, there are a bunch of new books coming out, and the more that I get involved with BookTube and the more that I see all these new books coming out, I was like, what am I going to do? Because I want to read all the new stuff, but I have all these old books that I want to read. So I have a couple of reading goals that I'm going to talk about today. So yay. One of those reading goals, and it's more of a book-related goal, is to not purchase any books that I have not already read and loved and I want to own for myself, or that I'm not already reading the series. So that means, like, if it's the first book in a series I haven't read that I've heard it's really good, I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to get it from the library or borrow it from a friend and read it that way, and then if I really love it, I will allow myself to purchase it. Partially because I have no money to buy books. And the other reason is because I own so many already that I haven't even read. This has compiled from years of purchasing books because I was such an avid reader for so long and then just completely fell out of reading. And so but I would still purchase the books. I'd be like, oh, I'll totally read this. This sounds really good. Purchase. And then I also worked at a bookstore, and so while I was working there, I would purchase more books. I mean, you just do. You see the books you want, and then you're like, I don't want to forget about this. I'll eventually read it, so you grab it off the shelf. So I have so many, hundreds. Like, if I read a book a day, I would still not finish all the books that I own that I have not read. So that is my main goal for this year, not to buy any more books unless I've already read them or I'm already reading the series and loving it. So goal number 2 is to, as I said, read the books I own. So my goal is to get through a majority of the books that I own already. And I decided how to pare that down. Most of you probably remember back in 2016, I made this little beauty, my TBR bag, because I had so many books they didn't fit in a jar. But I haven't really used this. I used it for like 2 months. And then one of those, I think the third month in, I just didn't ever get to the book I picked out, and I was going to get to it, and I never did. So I put it back in here, and then I just never went back. And I think it's partially because there were so many and so many books I wanted to be reading that I just was like, I don't really want to read this one right now. It was kind of, I don't know, it didn't quite work for me. So I'm going to keep this, even though it's not complete because it doesn't have some of the books that I purchased in 2016 in it. But I'm going to go ahead and keep this around just in case I decide I want to try it out again. But as of right now, I'm not going to be using this. So I have narrowed down my choices just a little bit so that I have a more manageable, like, set of mind when I'm going and looking at my bookshelves, because it's overwhelming when you have hundreds of books that you need to read that are your own, and you just want to like be like, I could go read a new book and go buy more. So the ones that I have narrowed down that I want to get to are some of my series that I've already started, because I have a whole bunch of series on my shelf that I have already started or started a long time ago that I probably need to reread and continue on with. So I've included some of those books in my TBR for the month of January, but not all of them. I have a whole bunch. So that is one of my goals, is to try to get through the series that I own, or at least the books in the series that I own, because I have so many. So there is that. The other thing I want to do is that I have an Owl Crate subscription, which, sad day, I had to cancel my January box because I had just spent more money for Christmas than I wanted to, so I couldn't quite afford it. So I won't have a January one, but maybe I'll figure out what the book is and I'll go buy it anyways. But I have an Owl Crate subscription, and I, as of right now, have only read one of the books that I have received in the entire year of 2016. So one of my other goals is, in order to keep up with some of the new release stuff that I want to get to, I'm going to read my Owl Crate books this year. And that being said, I decided I'll just kind of go in the order of which I received them, unless one of them just strikes my fancy and I'm like, I really, really want to read that one. So that is another goal for 2017, is to read my Owl Crate subscription books that I've gotten. So that's one. Another one, I think we're on number 3 now, is to write more. And so for that, I want to read books that inspire me to write. So I might go back and read some old ones. I might go back and look at some books that I had purchased that were like about writing, that kind of thing, but to really kind of inspire myself again to write more. NaNoWriMo kind of kickstarted that for me. It started getting some ideas flowing, but it didn't quite get me back in the habit the way I wanted it to. It was just a very busy year in 2016, so I'm hoping 2017 will be better. Just building those habits a little bit at a time. So when I get to NaNoWriMo, I've already kind of got that habit built up, and it won't be as hard to succeed at NaNoWriMo. All right, so I was a part of the Year-a-thon in 2016, which I really tried to participate in. I think there was only 1 month that I didn't like gung-ho try to participate in the readathons. And so this year I'm kind of keeping an eye on any of the themes I really want to do, but I'm not fully participating in Year-a-thon just because I have so many of my own books that I want to get to that may not fit into any of the categories. So I'm kind of creating my own categories for myself every month. So it's just gonna depend on what I want to do, but I'll share those with you. So if for some reason you guys want to join in and read in that like category with me, please do. It would be so much fun. I would really, really love to do that with you guys. And maybe it's the same books, or maybe not. It'll be a lot of fun. So the other things I'm going to be participating in this year. So I am going to try to do BookTube-a-thon when it comes up. I think it's in July. That's when I started my BookTube channel last year. And so I'm going to try to do a little bit more like heavy participatoriness in BookTube-a-thon 2017. So that's another goal. And then the other thing I am going to be participating in still is the Ostentatious Book Club. So Ostentatious is, if you don't know already, the Jane Austen book club, and we have so far read Pride and Prejudice, Emma, Persuasion, Northanger Abbey, Mansfield Park, and I think the only one we haven't gotten to yet is Sense and Sensibility, and that is January's book. So that being said, after those, I think that's all of them. I might be forgetting a book, which, shame on me, I'm a Jane Austen fan. I should know all of them, but I might be forgetting a book. But if, so once we finish the Austen novels, they're going to continue reading classics. So I'm going to keep an eye on those and hopefully continue reading more classics with that book club, because I've really enjoyed it. You all know how much I love Jane Austen, so when I read the Jane Austen with them, I get to see other people's comments and comment about it, and get to see like the videos and watch people fangirl about all of the amazingness that is Jane Austen, and it's just joyful for my soul. So another goal that I have for the year of 2017 is to do some buddy reads. So if you guys want to do buddy reads with me, and if there are any books on this list that you're like, I totally wanted to read that, let's read it together, I will totally do that. I would love to buddy read with you and to discuss the book and talk about it. It would be a lot of fun. All right, so what I'm going to do now is talk about the books that I want to read during the month of January, and I'm giving myself lots of choices. So for the month of January in 2017, I was thinking about doing a like new beginnings theme where I was going to start a whole bunch of new series. That started really overwhelming me because that means I'm going to have a whole bunch of series that I haven't even started now that I will have to continue on through the year 2017, not to mention the ones that I already have started that I want to finish. So I decided that the theme that I'm going to give myself for January is finishing, which seems totally backwards because it's the new year, it's a new beginning, it's new start, but in order to start that off right for myself, I wanted to finish some stuff. So I'm going to finish some of the series that I either started in 2016 or I started way before that and I was really enjoying and I just haven't gotten around to finishing. So the other things that I'm going to finish are some of the books that I'm currently reading still from 2016. So sadly, I started the month of January with 4 books that I was in the middle of or in the midst of in some way. I actually today just finished Mansfield Park, which I was listening to on audiobook, which took forever because it's like hours and hours and hours long, and I was hoping I'd do a lot more like long driving during this month, but that did not happen, and so I ended up just now finishing it today. It's one of my absolute favorite Austen novels. I have a really special place in my heart for that one, and so I put my review on Goodreads for that, but I just love Mansfield Park, and so I just finished that one today. So we already started off finishing at least one book this month. Yay! So here are 3 more books that I am already reading according to Goodreads that I want to finish during the month of January. Book number 1 is Steps in Time by Fred Astaire. I only have about this much left, so I will hopefully finish it pretty easily. I just have to be motivated to read it. Nonfiction, why? Maybe I'll watch some Fred Astaire and then be a little bit more motivated. So there we go. The next one is kind of cutesy. So my roommate and I were reading manga together because she still has a little bit of trouble reading manga sometimes, where she'll get like confused as to what comes next. And so we were like just reading this one out loud to each other. It was a lot of fun. But it is a Christmas manga called Sweet Rain. And I can't wait to finish this one, but I will have to check in with my bestie to see when we can kind of finish at least the first volume. It's 3 volumes long and I have all 3 of them, but at least I'll finish the first one during the month of January before we take down our Christmas tree. And the last one I am currently reading, according to Goodreads, is The Evolution of Mara Dyer. I hope to finish this one because the next books that I have to finish on this list of stuff I want to read this month are a whole bunch of library books that need to get returned sometime this month. One of which being The Retribution of Mara Dyer, which is the 3rd book in the Mara Dyer trilogy, the final book in the Mara Dyer trilogy, and I hope I can get to it before I have to return it to the library, because that would be nice to be able to finish this series finally after having started it in October. So the next couple of books are also books I have out from the library. And a couple of them are in series I'm currently reading. A couple of them are just ones I wanted to get to and I have out. So I wanted to finish my library stack. So one of the first ones I want to get to is Mortal Heart by Robin Lefevers. This one is the 3rd and final book, I think it's the last one, in the His Fair Assassins trilogy. I'm hoping to finish this one and again finish a series with this book by the end of January. And another one I would really like to get to that is a library book as well is Blue Lily Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the 3rd book in the Raven Cycle, and this will get me on my way to finishing the Raven Cycle sometime in the next couple of months because I'm really, really enjoying it and I would like to see how it all concludes. The next one is the 2nd book in the Starbound novels trilogy. I think it's just a trilogy. And this is This Shattered World by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. Hopefully I will get to finish it sometime this month. This is already a lot of books. I'm already getting overwhelmed looking at the stack, but like I said, I'm giving myself lots of choices so that if I want to pick up a sci-fi or a fantasy or something, I will have something that I can just grab and know what I want to read. So, and then the last one I have out from the library currently is Beatrice and Benedict by Marina Fiorito. I'm going with that. I am super excited to read this. It is quite lengthy and big, and I can't wait to get to it. This is not part of a series, but again, it's a book I have out from the library that I really wanted to read. So if I don't get to it, I'll be very sad and I'll have to get it again from the library. So there we go. So the next 2 books are books I own that are also conclusions to series. So the first one is The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. This is the 2nd book in the Wrath of the Dawn duology, and I have not finished it yet, and I actually really enjoyed the Wrath of the Dawn. Not as much as I thought I would, having seen everybody like freaking out about it, but I actually really did enjoy it. So I do want to finish this one and see how it wraps up. I'm nervous to see how it wraps up, but this is one I actually own. So it'll probably get pushed to the bottom of the pile because of all the ones I have out from the library. And then the last one that is one of the books that I own that is also part of a series is called Rebel by Linda Windsor, and it is part of the Brides of Alba trilogy. This is the last book in that series, but who knows if I will get to it this month. And if for some reason I got to all of those, or maybe got bored with any of those, I have two more that I would like to read for the month of January. One is Da Vinci's Tiger by L.M. Eliot, and this one is my owl crate, my first owl crate that I ever received, which was actually December of last year, and I never picked it up. It looks really good, but I don't really know too much about it, so that one. And then the other one, which is my owl crate that I got in January of last year, is Worlds of Ink and Shadow by Lena Coakley. Who knows if I will get to those. So that is all the books that I have on my list to get to this month. I am excited to take this book reading journey with you guys. Let me know what your reading goals are for the year of 2017, and if you have a theme that you're going to stick to or some series that you would like to finish, like, let me know. I'd love to see that in the comments and talk to you about them down there. Or let me know if you decided you want to also read series and finish books that you have already started this year, or last year, I should say. Thank you all so much for watching. I love talking to you guys in the comments, so I can't wait to chat with you some more down there. And I will see you next time with another video really soon. Bye!